Hello, my wonderful movie humans. This is Miss Reyes Biology. Today, you guys are going to be taking some notes on fermentation. So just to give you a quick reminder, we have been talking about energy synthesis, and energy synthesis is the process where we're making energy that is usable. So that whole process, remember, if we think back, starts with photosynthesis, fueling our producers by taking energy from our sun and turning it into a form that our consumers are able to actually take in and utilize the energy. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let me flip my camera. Again, make sure that you guys have your notes. Make sure that you have your notebooks, okay? Make sure you got a pencil and everything. Oh, and the other thing too, y'all know I'm extra, okay? My notes are extra. They got extra colors. You don't need to be extra, but I mean, who wouldn't want to be, right? Okay. So if you guys want to color, you're welcome to, but you don't have to, okay? I know, you're welcome. Okay. Anyways, so fermentation, right? Now, we said that everything kind of starts with photosynthesis because during photosynthesis, we're taking energy from the sun and we are going to turn that into this form of chemical energy called glucose. And glucose, well, we love the stuff because it's basically sugar, right? And y'all know how much you like glucose. You love sugar. I love sugar. Everybody loves sugar. I think we're literally made to love sugar because what do we get from it? We get energy. Yes. Okay. But anyways, photosynthesis provides us with the glucose, and cellular respiration is going to allow us to take the glucose and break it down into the stuff that we can now use to power the whole processes that we need to do. Okay, so cellular respiration is going to occur mostly, well, actually it occurs both in plants and consumers, or sorry, I should say producers and consumers, but it can only occur after photosynthesis has occurred. So the other stipulation is that cellular respiration can only occur when oxygen is present, okay? And when oxygen is present, we call that aerobic. Now, this other process that we're now talking about, fermentation, is going to be the opposite of that. So basically, oxygen is not going to be present, and that's exactly what it is, okay? Fermentation is going to occur, is a process where energy is going to release when there is no oxygen present, okay? And that is what we would call anaerobic. When you put an an, it kind of negates the statement, and aerobic meant oxygen is present. Well, an in front of it means that no oxygen is present. So basically there's two processes that can occur here, okay? So no matter what, we are starting, whoops, I don't want to reveal too much. Sorry. Okay. Basically, we are still going to start off with that glucose, all right? That glucose is going to come back from our photosynthesis process, right? We can't get glucose unless our plants provide it. Well, it's going to get broken down and it's going to turn into these two pyruvates, okay? And I just wanted to include this in here in case I said it or accidentally interchanged it. Two pyruvates. Pyruvates are the same thing as pyruvic acid. So just in case I accidentally say pyruvic acid, I'm still talking about these same pyruvates, okay? And I try to keep those colors the same so you guys know. Now, again, don't forget that there is no oxygen present in this system. So if we don't have oxygen, right? Oh no, cellular respiration cannot occur, right? That's just not going to happen. So this is where that fermentation process is going to come in hand, okay? Now, we're going to start with process A, which, oops, I accidentally covered it up. Oh, well. We're going to start with process A, which is the blue one over here. Awkward. There it is. There's process A. We're going to start with process A here on the left, okay? Now, this process A, pathway A, we're going to call it pathway A over here, is known as alcoholic fermentation. And alcoholic fermentation is going to happen if you happen to be a yeast or a bacteria. I don't know if you guys got into the whole bread making thing during COVID, but I mean, did I make bread? Yeah, I did. I'm not ashamed to say it. I made good bread. Actually, just kidding. The first time I made bread, I totally forgot the salt. It was terrible. Okay. But after that, I learned, right? That's the whole thing. You got to learn. You can't learn unless you fail, believe it or not. Actually, you learn best when you do fail because then you know exactly what you're not going to do again. But that's a life lesson. We can move on. All right. As I was saying, alcoholic fermentation is going to occur if you're a yeast or a bacteria. Okay. So let's talk about what happens here. Now, the first thing that we're going to have happen is our two pyruvates are going to pair with an NADH battery, okay? That NADH battery is going to pair with the pyruvate, and that NADH is going to power the system, right? And when it powers the system, it's going to basically uncharge that battery. So it becomes NAD plus, and NAD plus will eventually have to return to glucose to get refueled and restart the whole process. But we'll come back to that in a second. Now, when it's charging this whole process, the two things that we're trying to make, technically three, the two things that we're trying to make here are carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. Okay. Now, technically there are three products here. So CO2, ethyl alcohol, and NAD plus. All right. Now, if this is confusing for you guys, I don't know. It's confusing for me too. Okay. So I think it's best shown in this little chemical equation here. So as you can see, we're starting out with the two pyruvates here. Okay. We're pairing them with the two NADHs here. All right. And remember, these guys are like acting like a battery. It's powering the system, powering the breakdown of the two pyruvates. And it's eventually going to turn into that carbon dioxide. That's our first product. Our ethyl alcohol, two ethyl alcohols, our second product. And our third product, NAD plus, which is the uncharged version of our battery, right? And again, it just is going to return to the glucose to get its charge back. Okay. And then again, the cycle restarts, right? Okay. So if you need to, pause the video so you can copy all the information down. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you've had enough time to get that copy down, because now we're going to talk about process B here on the right. So in order to not confuse you guys, let me cover this up here with my sticky notes, my handy dandy sticky notes, because I don't want you guys to get lost here. Okay. All right. So let's talk about process B here. Whoop. There you are. Okay. Let me zoom out so you guys can get like a full view of what's going on here. All right. Don't pay any attention to cellular respiration over here. It's not happening, right? We don't have any oxygen here. Okay. But anyways, pathway B, let's talk about pathway B. Now, pathway B is known as lactic acid fermentation, and it's going to occur when you have animals or humans, okay? So if you're an animal or a human, which I think you are considering you're in my class, right? If you're an animal or a human, you are going to go through the process of lactic acid fermentation. Now, if you're an athlete, you've almost certainly heard the term lactic acid, right? I'm hoping you guys said yes. Because what happens when you overwork yourself? What happens when you're sore? What has your body produced? It's produced lactic acid, and that's the stuff that makes your body sore. Now, the reason that lactic acid is getting produced is because your body doesn't have any, or is low on oxygen, right? And guess what type of exercise that happens during? Anaerobic exercise. Oh, you see, oh my gosh, biology applies to life. That's crazy, because it's only like biology translates to the science of life, but whatever. That's actually what it translates to, just in case you guys were wondering. I hope I would have already taught you that. If I didn't, well, hey, we covered it now, right? Okay. All right. Anyways, so as you guys can see here, we're still starting with those two pyruvates. So same process over here. We're still getting powered by those two NADHs, those two NADH batteries, right? Same sort of stuff here. Now, so we're going on the pathway B, which is why it's blue, but those are still technically the same thing. The only difference is, are we animals or humans, or are we yeast or bacteria? Okay. So same thing sort of happens here. Our NADH, we're going to shake that charged battery, and we are going to use the energy that it's going to provide us with to power the breakdown of this pyruvic acid, or the pyruvates, right? When we are able to power that process, we're going to get two lactic acids out of it. So that's one of our products here. Okay. Two lactic acids. The other product we're going to get is a decharged battery, an uncharged battery. No, let's call it decharged, because it was once charged and now it's not charged, right? And we're going to get that not charged battery. And then again, it's going to have to restart the cycle to get powered back up over here in the glucose, back to the process, right? It's a whole cycle. Crazy, wild, right? Okay, so that is fermentation. Fermentation is going to occur when what is not present, kids? Say it. Say it. I mean, actually say it. See, I know you guys are sitting there quiet, acting like you're dumb, but you're not, because I think you're all very smart. So what is it? What is it? No oxygen, okay? Remember, no oxygen. It's going to occur when there's no oxygen present here, okay? All right, so that's basically all I got for you. I just want to expose this here at the end because I have a feeling that if you didn't catch something, it's probably within this whole mess over here, okay? So go ahead, pause the video if you guys need to copy it. Okay, let me go ahead and flip my camera here so I can say goodbye, because I like to do my little outro, right? Okay, that's all I've got for you guys today. Future Miss Reyes and or whoever is there, go right ahead, do your thing, girl. Okay, you guys have a wonderful day. I love you. Have a great day. Take care. Be safe. Bye.